Welcome to your new home. This is the Players U Podcast. Bringing players together in business, sports, media, and entertainment. Players U. For the players, by the players. By the players. Let's do the damn thing. Here's your hosts, Carthorne and Tyson.
What up?
What's good?
What's good, man? I'm your host, Tyson. And we got my other host is DC today, man.
Yeah, man. DC here checking in. How everything going, bro?
Hey, everything's going great out here, man. It's getting a little chilly out here, so it's getting a little colder down here in the CO. But
Right.
how's the weather up there in Colorado?
Man, you know what? It was good all week. It's getting a little chilly right now. Today is a little chilly. It's still gonna be decent though, probably for the next month or so. We hope. It's October. October brings a lot of good things in the sports world.
Oh, you know what October's about. It's about the MLB Playoffs.
Yes, sir. What we got?
Oh man, so we got the National League Divisional Series, and we got the American League Divisional Series. Let's hop right into the National League, man. I was not privy to watch it last night, but you said there was a great game going on last night between the Padres and the LA Dodgers. Give us a little insight, man, about that last night.
Yeah, man, that was a big game. I ain't gonna lie. I was watching I was watching boxing. I was watching two fights. They had Cambosos versus Devin Haney Jr. Devin Haney came out with an easy victory, and then Deontay Wilder came back. We forgot about talking about Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder landed like a 3 punches first round knockout.
I heard he had a knockout. I know that.
Crazy. That was crazy. I was watching that fight, and then after the fight was over, I'm like, man, is it time to watch a movie? Time to go out? What we gonna do? I go and turn on baseball, man, and the Padres is playing the Dodgers. I'm a huge Clayton Kershaw fan, so I like him as well. So like whenever the Dodgers is playing, I try to check a game out. So I turn it on. They up 3-0. I'm like, yeah, Dodgers going back into another one. Man, when I tell you, it was one of the best games I ever watched on TV. Like I'm talking about, the crowd was rocking, like going nuts. It looked like a college football atmosphere at a baseball game. Like it was music going, fans clapping, everybody standing up, screaming, like they was into the game. Next thing you know, the Padres go on a 5-0 run, get 5 runs with 0 outs in the bottom of the 7th. And next thing you know, they're up 5-3. Dodgers probably change out 3 different pitchers, and they just couldn't get another hit. It started raining, bro. This is how you know it's crazy. Like, the Dodgers have won 5 of the last 7 NLDS championships. And last night it started pouring down raining in Southern California, which never really happens. In the middle of the game.
It never rains in Southern California.
Hey, it did last night on that Dodgers parade. And the Padres came out victorious. They headed to the NLCS to play the Phillies. It was a great game, man. What really stood out to me was I remember when earlier in the year Juan Soto was playing with the Nationals, and they had the big trade to the Padres. And when they did the trade, everybody was kind of like, he got his money because he turned down the deal with the Nationals, and he went out there. They traded.
Oh yeah,
you remember that?
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, 23 years old, youngest ever to do what he's done in this game, and I was like, the Padres, really? Like, why the Padres? And then when it happened, to fast forward to now, to see them, 4 wins away from the World Series, like that's what you make them type of moves for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Juan Soto knew what he was doing because everybody thought he was going to go into the Nationals.
He was with the Nationals.
I mean, going to the Phillies. I thought he was going to the Phillies. I thought.
Yeah. So
he said nope.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was just a big time move. I mean, I think the Padres hadn't won a NLDS championship since 1998.
Wow,
that was the last time.
1998. So I'm pretty sure they had Tony Gwynn. I remember Tony Gwynn used to play with the Padres back in the day.
Hey, man. Yeah, that's
Tony
I mean,
Gwynn
that's a
was a
long time.
monster.
1998, bro.
I graduated high school in 98. That's crazy.
They had, this is how long, like, this has been a while. Like, they had the goose. It was something about the goose, man. They were like, that's gonna be the new mascot or something.
Oh,
it was interesting, man. It was
that's
a good
crazy.
game.
So that was a great game last night. And then today there's another huge game. The Guardians play the Yankees. The Guardians are up right now 2-1. We win this game tonight. We go right on to the divisional, to the championship, right?
Yeah, to the NLCS. I mean the ALCS. Versus Phillies, right? No, it'll be the Phillies. Astros.
It'd be the Astros.
Astros. That's gonna be tough. I mean, you know what? When I think about the Yankees, man, like they haven't won a World Series since 2009, and this season is like it could be a historic one. You know, Judge broke the record. You know what I'm saying? Babe Ruth's all-time home run list record for the Yankees, and to see them go out at this point in the playoffs, that's tough because these types of seasons don't come along very often. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
For ratings wise and just for watching, I want to see the Yankees move forward. You know what I mean? The Guardians will be huge, but Yankees and Astros is what people want to see.
Yeah, of course they want to see that. But
yeah,
the hometown better go ahead and handle business now so we can go ahead and play them Astros.
And man, pitching matters. End of the day, it's all about the pitching. You know what I'm saying?
All about the pitching. And let me ask you this question, man.
Yeah.
Is it because I grew up playing baseball, and then as an African American, I don't see many African Americans any longer playing baseball as much as they used to. Now, most people, I know it's a favorite pastime, and most people watch baseball and other descents during all year round. But October is when the playoffs really get going and the teams are really active, and just the intensity of the playoffs that's when I kind of start watching it right now. So, and what do you think it is that why can't we as African Americans really get into baseball because they make the most money. It's all guaranteed contracts.
Highest paid team sport in the US for sure.
What is it? What do you think it is that why it's like is it just too boring, or we just don't have the equipment? What do you think it is?
That's a great question and a great topic. You know, I've actually had this type of conversation with some of my boys. It's like we all know that baseball makes the most money, but we don't push our kids or push ourselves to that sport. I played as a kid too. I'll tell you what my experience was. My experience with baseball was it just wasn't enough action, right? Like if you aren't pitching, you in the outfield standing around. Like we was watching, I'm watching the game last night, and maybe the last 2 innings probably took 45 minutes. Just the last 2. Mookie Betts was standing in the outfield for about 30 minutes and wasn't nothing coming his way. Like it, as a kid, sometimes if you don't have like parents that are pushing you in that direction, I think it's hard for you to really understand what baseball is. You know, you can play that sport longer than it's like golf, man. You can play baseball like 20 years, depending on what position you at. Pitchers only pitch once every 5 days. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, I also think it's the most skilled sport in team sports, because you got to think, if you hit 3 out of 10, you a Hall of Famer. That's how hard it is. You know what I'm saying? Like 20%, you solid. You an all-star. You know what I'm saying? Like it's guys that can't. They showed a guy last night. I forget his name, but he was 2 for 15 in the series.
Damn.
Yeah, like kids, it's so much disappointment in baseball growing up. You fail almost every time you at bat, right? It's hard for a lot of our community to understand that, like, bro, you fail way more than you win. And it take a long-term vision to really understand that. And it's just repetitive over and over practice. And then it's also competing with football and basketball, which is basketball is probably like one of the fastest growing sports, probably is the fastest growing sport in the world right now. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I mean, it's just, I think it's really tough. There's a lot of failure in sports, and coming from our community, bro, we fail all the time already as a people. Last thing you want to do is go be mad every day playing baseball. When you could get on that court, you running, you jumping, you dunking, you shooting threes. It's exciting. You know what I'm saying? I got kind of bored with the baseball thing, but like looking back on it, knowing what I know now, I'm like, man, with my work ethic, you know, maybe I could have worked my way into being an average hitter, but could run on base, being athletic, being in the outfield. You just never know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too, because being in baseball, man, it's an opportunity for a lot of young people. But I just think that we get bored. I think the number one thing is we get bored. We need that reaction. We need activity. We need fast pace. We need to get up and down. But baseball, you just standing there, sitting there. I mean, not sitting there, but just standing there,
you
waiting
sitting
for
there too in the bullpen.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, I was watching these dudes. They're in there chewing, like, you know, they got big league chew going on. They're in there slapping each other, playing games in the bullpen. It's like in the dugout. I mean, I'm like, this is stuff that we don't really like understand. You know what I mean? In football and basketball, you're not doing that. You know what I mean? Then it's like so many different types of coaches. It's such a specialized sport. I also think like the history kind of affects us too. Like the Negro League, bro. Like look at the history of the sport that was going on. Like it was that same history in basketball too, to a degree, but it was an actual Negro League, bro.
Yeah, that's dope.
But it's dope, but at the same time, it's like that's trauma. Like the Negro League, so we can't play and
can't play with everybody else.
So what you think guys start going to do? They start going to other sports. You know what I mean? And then we finally do have a breakthrough with a couple guys. But now instead of them coming to get the African Americans, they going to Dominican Republic.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to Puerto Rico. They grabbing these type of guys that don't have access to the basketball and the football that we do. They got a ball and a stick. That's really what it comes down to.
And that's what they do daily. And that's their basketball down there daily.
In soccer, same way. Hey, I just need a ball. I can kick it. That's the easiest thing. It takes no resources to kick a soccer ball. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like other sports, basketball, you need some type of infrastructure. But even with basketball, you can take a ball and dribble outside. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I think about like Kyler Murray. Like he had a chance to play Major League Baseball. He decided to go play football. You know, probably that excitement, man. These young dudes want that excitement, bro.
But I also think it's I just think that we got to be patient too. Like we're not patient enough, because if you think about it, in high school, we're more athletic, honestly, and all we just got to do is be patient and know our role. But I think the hurdle is, do I want to play travel ball or do I want to play AAU basketball? Because around the same two, it's the same two.
It's in the spring,
yeah, both in the spring. But it's just those games are so much longer baseball, and when you play travel ball, and you're playing, it's the same amount of games in a day like AAU does basketball. But it's like, man, there's so much time. I could be running up and down the court, getting some excitement going on, rather than just being at a baseball game.
Ain't nobody at them baseball games either. Go to your local high school baseball game. Ain't nobody there but parents.
Parents is all there. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? The girls ain't coming to the baseball game in high school. You know what I mean?
Definitely not.
They ain't, and even in college, they're not going to the college baseball game the same way they're going to the college basketball game or the college football game. I mean, all that stuff matters. When you a kid, man, there's so much vanity that's like based on some of your decisions. You know what I mean? Like you ain't really thinking long term. But yeah, baseball for me, man. Like
I wish I would have stuck it out for real.
I was picking grass, bro, half the time, like being out there in the outfit. But basketball just gave me that excitement, and the real reason I made my decision was between baseball, football, and basketball was like, which sport do I have more fun training in? Because to be a pro, it's going to take so many hours of you just committing to the craft. Like I used to go to batting cages and all of that, and it would be fun. But basketball, I could play basketball 12 hours a day and not get tired of it until my body basically gave out. I wasn't doing that for no other sport. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, playing basketball was my thing, but baseball, what I was just like, man, I got to play for the city league, man. Honestly, I was like, this ain't nobody being seen. I'm not going to be seen out here playing in the city league. I like, it's not worth it when I was coming up. So I was just like, man, let me put that to the side and play basketball. So I had to be honest with myself as well, but I still think I should have stuck it out and still played regardless.
I mean, that's why we got the show, right? Yeah. To give people that insight, like, you know, baseball is one of those sports where you can play I mean, look at Deion Sanders, man. Like,
man,
the dude played 2 sports for like 9 years or something like that. You know, like that's hard to do, but it's one of those sports where like it takes a lot of hard work to get. So even if you aren't perfect, nobody's perfect.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
So we need to ask. So in them comments, we need to ask right now in those comments, let us know why you chose to stop playing baseball at a young age. If you had the opportunity to play baseball in another sport, why did you not choose to play baseball? Please tell us that right now.
And I challenge parents, you know, put your kids on that baseball field early. Because if you wait until they 8, 9, 10 years old, it's hard. Because you got kids playing T-ball young, and they learning how to hit. They learning like
how to field, how to run the bases.
Catch. If you don't learn like basketball, you can wait till 10 years old and pick up a ball and start working on your craft. Football, hey, be strong, be athletic, have footwork, run. You can pick these things up later. Baseball, you got to really start, I think, a lot younger to really start to get this thing.
Soccer and baseball, you got to start young. To me, I think you got to start young. Learning the footwork, like you said, learning how to hit, how to field, how to throw. Start with T-ball. You know, get out there early, then go to coach pitch, and then on from there.
For real. So, look, man, let's transition to the main season that's been going on. You know,
yes, sir.
NFL football, man. You know, it's we're about 5-6 weeks into the season right now. What's some of your biggest takeaways? Early storylines in this part of the year.
The Philadelphia Eagles, man, are 5-0. Maybe going to be 6-0 this upcoming week. And I just think they're just playing great everybody's playing great ball right now.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is on a tear. The whole squad is just playing at a high level. Now, can they hold it? Can they hold on to that? Can they keep it going? Who knows? But right now they're playing strong.
Yeah, I didn't think first month of the season that the Eagles would be like the best team in football. You know, I mean, they I don't know what their schedule has been, who they've played, but I mean, 5-0 is 5-0. I didn't expect this from Jalen Hurts, especially with the season he was having last year. You know what I mean? And they in a tough division. I mean, you got the Cowboys over there, you got the Giants. They playing really good football. My biggest takeaway from this part of the year is like some of the quarterback play, man. I was excited to see 2 quarterbacks early in the season, and that was Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. And Russ, man, like I was one of your biggest supporters, and I still am. But
remember that.
I was excited to see this dude. I've been talking about Russell Wilson all summer.
Yes.
He is shit in the bed, man. Like, it's not looking good. Like, I don't understand. Every time we're in the goal line, we throwing the ball, we can't get a touchdown. We hand it off, we get a fumble. $200-something million, man. I just feel like, Russ, you got to pick it up. You know, they didn't play him the whole preseason, and maybe that got something to do with it, with some chemistry. But at the same time, man, it's like he'll look great, and then he'll look like he forgot how to play. And I don't know, like, if that's a leadership thing. You know, some of that is Daniel Hackett, new coach. You know what I mean? Not really, like, having the best play calls. But as a veteran leader that Russ is, at this point, you got to make some of your own calls, man. You know, we seen Peyton Manning do it. You got high shoes to fill out here in Denver when it comes to the Broncos, man. There's some really good quarterbacks that won Super Bowls.
Yeah, he definitely has to step it up. He hasn't been playing his best at all.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to him really internalizing what's going on, but then going out there and executing these next couple of weeks before their bye. I don't know where their bye is coming up. I think it's coming up soon. But he definitely has to step it up. I also wanted to talk about, man, this Baker Mayfield, man. You know, he was with the Browns, and people didn't want us to pick up Deshaun Watson. They were saying we just need to keep Baker. He got us to the playoffs, won a playoff game in so many years. And now he's at Carolina regurgitating on the football field because he's playing trash right now. Okay.
I don't expect much from Baker Mayfield. I'm not going to lie. That's just me.
And I was telling people, like, man, why do y'all want Baker Mayfield to stay in Cleveland? Like, he's not good.
Baker Mayfield has a cult following, bro.
They just love him because he brings the energy.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Rah-Rah, man. But at the end of the day, he's not good, man. And when he gets over to Carolina, he even said to himself, he said he's not playing well.
What's his stats looking like over there? Because I'll tell you what Russell Wilson's stats looking like. 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Nothing else even matters. Come on, man. That's terrible.
Yeah, that is terrible.
And then another thing too, like the Broncos are still in every game with opportunity to win, and that's what you want. That's what a good quarterback gives you, right?
Right.
A good defense, but at the same time, like they're on TV every night, so expectations are higher. Like they're on Monday Night Football tomorrow. They were just on Thursday Night Football. They're getting primetime games. You know what I'm saying? More than they would have before, but at the same time, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 1,200 yards. Not for 230 million. Kobe Brissett might be playing better than that right now.
You said how many yards does he have?
About 1,200. All
right, so Baker he's 4 TDs, 4 interceptions. He's at 962 yards and 72% rating. So
they playing the same way. Look at Jacoby Brissett. 1,000 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Okay.
They're all in the same category.
Yeah, they are the same category. But you said you would take Jacoby right now.
One of them is getting $230 million, while another one is he's a backup.
He's a backup.
Geno Smith is playing better than Russell Wilson right now.
Geno.
So, I mean, obviously Russell Wilson is still an elite quarterback in my opinion, but a lot of the talk over his career has been, is he a game manager or is he really an elite quarterback? Right now, he ain't doing either. He ain't managing the game and he ain't elite. So the jury's still out. If they could find a way to compete in that division and make a wild card, because you're not beating the Chiefs out for that number 1 spot. It's not going to happen unless something major happens injury-wise.
At all.
But, I mean, end of the day, they have a chance to win every single game they've been in. They're not getting blown out. They're just not executing down the stretch. And that's what it comes down to. You know what I mean? And then lastly, Justin Fields, man. I know this is your guy. What's your thoughts on Justin Fields early in the year?
Man, it's hard because people say he doesn't have the wide receivers. And I watched a little bit of the game last week, and he was missing passes.
Yeah.
I mean, he was throwing the ball long. He was missing the underneath routes. I'm like, man, Justin, you got to be better. I thought he could see the field better.
Yeah.
And he's just not doing it at this point in time. I think he has a lot in him. I think he starts to learn, but I don't know what he got to do, honestly. I'm just saying, man, you got to get in that film room. Maybe you got to get back in that film and just start studying more. Maybe, and he's probably doing that. He's just not good enough as of right now.
It's a great point. I think about quarterbacks like I think about point guards when they're young, right? I think there's a level of adjustment to the speed of the game that you have to prepare for.
Right.
And a lot of times you hear this a lot, right? But I don't think people ever really talk about it. So when you talk about a point guard going from high school to college or from college to pro on any level, or a quarterback going from high school to college to pro, there's a speed difference that you can't really make up until you're out there.
Right.
And the biggest thing is, like, it's not just the speed of the players moving so fast. It's the speed of the decision makings that you have to have. So you got to be 2 steps ahead in order to stay ahead of the defense, minimum, right? So when I look at Justin Fields when he's dropping back, right now he has the longest time to pass in the whole NFL. It's like 3.5 seconds or something before he throws the ball. That's the longest in the NFL. So I don't know if it's the offensive line. A little bit of that he's probably rolling out and running, but I don't know if it's the offensive line that's holding him back. He also has the least completions and something like that out of any quarterback that's starting. So my thing is like he's just not reading the game fast enough. And how do you counteract that? You got to be in that film room. You got to get extra reps. You know what I mean? And then you just got to go and play as well. Like you got to let that ball go. That's why they call dudes gunslingers, man. You got to let that ball go. It's like a point guard that's coming off. You know to read, but you holding the ball into the last second. And maybe he needs to get rid of that thing in under 2 seconds. It's almost like in basketball. When a lot of guys go through this early in their career when they first go to college. In high school, you've been the man. You got the ball in your hand the whole time. And you can make any decision you want. But when you get to college, you got better players around, and your coach is like, get off the ball, move it, get off of it. You don't really understand how to be effective in that. You just getting rid of it. Right. But there's ways to do it. And I just think Justin Fields, at this point in time, like he's just reading the game a step slow. And then he's taking some hits. He's taking some real tough hits. So them is in your mind too. I would give him a chance to keep on playing, but
definitely.
But the Bears might not. If they fall with a low enough record, they're gonna try to go and grab. Hey, C.J. Stroud out there. You got your boy from Alabama out there. Quarterback at Kentucky looking good. You got
Tennessee's quarterback. He's young quarterback
now, looking good. You also got the guy at BYU.
Yeah,
it's a tough business, man. You got to execute at the end of the day.
Got to execute. I mean, I'm gonna say a couple of weeks ago, he had a good game versus Minnesota where he went for 208, 1 touchdown, 118 rating.
How many attempts?
I don't know. I didn't see that.
He ain't throwing the ball that many times.
No, he's not. And that's the issue. He's got 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He has 169 yards right now. So he's not really throwing the ball.
1,100.
869.
869 yards. Yeah, he's not letting that thing go.
It's also
play calling, but I expect a little bit from him.
Yeah, but we need him to step it up, man.
Everybody's not gonna come out like Patrick Mahomes.
No.
We didn't even expect that from him. You know what I mean? So it's tough. Speaking of the NFL, a couple more things, man. Thursday night football on Amazon Prime. Who we got this week coming up?
So we have the Saints versus
Saints and Cardinals, right?
Saints and Cardinals this week.
The reason we bring this topic up, man, is because we're hearing a lot of chatter about football moving over to Amazon Prime on Thursdays. And what we're hearing isn't good. It's like people are saying the product basically on the field hasn't been great.
Right.
Low scoring games. People are complaining. Sometimes you go to a sports bar, they don't even have the game on because they don't have Amazon Prime.
Right.
Like that
unacceptable.
Game, yeah, that Chicago Bears and Washington football team, Washington Commanders. Game last week was painstakingly bad to watch. Like, and I went out to go watch the game, and I'm sitting there looking. I'm just like, this can't be who chose this schedule right here? Who put these 2 teams on Thursday night primetime football? And it's like, I don't know if the matchups aren't great, the low scoring games, bunch of turnovers. Like, I don't know. What's your thoughts about early on, like Thursday night football going to Amazon?
It's ups and downs. I mean, the Pittsburgh and Browns game, that was a great game. I thought the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins.
You a Browns fan. That's why. Stop playing.
But that's a good conference game, though. And then you have, the Miami and Bengals game was good until, Tua got hurt. But they're averaging 13 million viewers according to Nielsen, according to Nielsen's ratings. So that's a a 40% increase that they're saying from the last year's, week 2 game or area, but they're averaging 13 million viewers. So they're doing well, but it just doesn't seem like they're doing well because of the product on the field. But I just think the games will get better. They're going to get better because any time, what I notice is in the NFL is when you talk a lot about why things are not going right, they eventually get better, and then the ratings will be even higher.
So this is something like, here at Players U, we like to educate our viewers. So earlier this year, the NFL signed an 11-year media rights agreement with a pact that will run through 2033 and could be worth over $100 billion. Amazon right now is paying $1 billion a year exclusively for Thursday night football for the next 10 years.
$10 billion.
$10 billion over the next 10 years for how many weeks of football? 17?
17 weeks.
This is why, it's big business. I mean, you got Viacom, CBS, you got Fox, you got Comcast, which owns NBC, and then you got Disney, which owns ABC and ESPN. Will pay around $2.7 billion a year annually. The media is really in control of stuff. So while I've been hearing a lot about the feelings about Thursday night football and people aren't happy, but the numbers say differently. End of the day is reasons or results. The numbers say they're averaging 13 million viewers a week, representing about 40% growth year over year. And a lot of times us as athletes don't really understand where the money comes from. We don't understand how the business works. They don't care about what none of us think. End of the day, 13 million viewers say otherwise, which is 40% growth, and they're paying $1 billion a year for those media rights, man. That's pretty crazy for a product that we aren't happy with, for the most part. Yeah, it's pretty mind-opening. I just wanted to leave y'all with that statistic there. But
what we got next, man?
The hottest topic I feel like of the past 2 weeks. Before we get to that, look, please like and subscribe.
Yes.
Follow the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook at Players U Media Group. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Players U Media. You can find us on YouTube at the Players U Podcast. Like and subscribe. Look, if y'all want us to keep going and share more content, this is how we do that. By getting more likes, getting more subscribers, getting more viewers. End of the day, we here to stay. But let's move on to this next topic. The hottest topic of the whole fall right now. We got the NBA season coming around. You got the defending champs ready to defend their crown. And then
we defending it all right.
Yeah, right. They did. We got Draymond Green out here knocking out Jordan Poole in practice, man. What's your thoughts when you first seen this, friend?
Okay, when I first seen it, I was like, man, how did this get out, number one? How did this get out? And you guys are in practice. There's no way this video should have been shown to the world. That was number one. And then I was like, man, why you let him walk up on you like that, Jordan Poole? Because y'all in practice, he already up on you, push him, and then you kind of just lean back a little bit, and he just walk up on you and just hit you, knock you out. But I know this goes on in practices. You know what I mean? So we know.
Does it?
There's fist fights in practice. Come on, man. I know you've been around that in your games. Somebody's pushing, they talking trash. They might step up like they're about to fight, but they don't do it.
Yeah.
But you should. Michael Jordan, Steve Kerr was like, man, this happens all the times. So Steve Kerr got punched by Michael Jordan in practice.
I'll be honest. This don't happen all the time. But it's a narrative of tough guys being in the locker room. But out of all the teams you've ever coached, Tyson, how many punches did you see thrown?
Nah, I ain't seen no punches thrown.
Out of all the teams you played for, high school, whatever, how many punches was thrown?
No punches, pushing and all that.
People want to push and talk stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go high school, college, pro. I never really seen punches thrown. Now, guys pushing, maybe guys get into a wrestling match.
Right.
I might have lifted a couple dudes up here and there. I saw, you know what I mean? I'm gonna say that much. But as far as punching one of these guys like that, I never really seen it on a basketball floor. Now, guys do get into it. You know, you hear the occasional fight, but it don't really be like that. Like somebody getting stolen on, like we was in the street. That's it. I'm gonna be now. I think it's so shocking because the video came out. Because, like you said, Steve Kerr got punched by Michael Jordan.
But we didn't see it.
We didn't see it. And on top of that, Steve Kerr knows how to deal with stuff like this. This is why I think Draymond Green won't really face no real ramifications from it. But at the same time, these young dudes can't just be out here talking crazy. Like, I know Draymond sometimes has come off like a hothead. He's the heart and soul of that team. But as a leader, for him to punch that dude like that and not really get suspended, something must have been said where Jordan Poole crossed the line. That's just my opinion.
I can believe that. Yeah, I can believe
These young dudes be talking so crazy nowadays, and they don't really respect people that come before them. Sometimes you got to get put in your place like that. Now, the NBA is a corporation. This stuff don't fly in corporate. It just don't. You know, basketball and sports, you kind of mirror that line between corporate and like it's not, I'm not going to say street, but you know what I mean? Like the locker room talk is locker room talk. That stuff don't really happen in regular business. But at the same time, I think it's a couple like my conspiracy theory here was like Draymond Green want to get paid. Jordan Poole deserves a contract. Maybe it's a little animosity there. We see that Jordan Poole just signed that big 4-year, $140 million extension. Maybe the punch expedited the payout. I'm gonna just say that much.
Moved a little bit faster after that.
They pulled it a little faster because if you don't pay him now, Golden State, what message are y'all sending?
Right.
Draymond could just come knock me out and nobody do nothing. And y'all know I'm supposed to get $100 million. That could mess up his play. What if Jordan Poole gets damaged by that, goes out onto the court, and has a bad season?
Yeah.
Because of the relationship with the team. You got to pay that man. You got to pay him at this point. You feel me? Like Andrew Wiggins signs a contract. Now you got to go ahead and pay him too. So now where does that leave Draymond Green? It's the question.
He got that player option, man. For $27 million. You know he's going to pick that up.
He's going to take that. But at any given point, like, because of the dumb decision, the team could come in and be like, give me that, Draymond. That's contract. That's you know, conduct detrimental to the team that they could, like, you know, you can kind of revoke contracts and stuff for some of these things. You know what I mean?
But I also want to say this too, man. Just to I was thinking about something and had a couple of conversations. I was thinking maybe it got out because what Draymond's been doing in the past years when, you know, he's hot head, he's always been really vocal, doing a lot of things that just the Golden State Warriors, like you said, it's a corporate business. They're just not feeling it. They're not feeling him right now. So they kind of want to put it out there and say, hey, this is what's going on in practice with this dude. And we're not feeling this man right now.
Lower his value.
So maybe lower his value. Hopefully that he can understand that and come back and be ready to play basketball at a high level without having to deal with all that.
And they don't care about that. That dude brought you 4 championships. You ain't getting nothing more out of Draymond than you already got. In my opinion, and this is part of the business that people don't know, those video coordinators, some of these assistant coaches, some of these player development coaches, they don't really get no money like that.
Right.
They got the NBA stamp on their chest, but they're not really getting paid like that. Like, to be honest. And if you really know what's going on behind the scenes in this business, a lot of like video coordinators that work for free. Hey, if you got a chance to sell something for 50,000, 100,000, 20,000 to TMZ, they gonna do it, bro. Like, we mad that the video got out, but why you punching dudes?
Right.
The video don't get out if you ain't punching nobody like we at a bar.
But does that person who did it get fired now?
I don't think you can fire him.
Why?
I mean, you can, but it's like, so Draymond goes home for 3 days for actually doing the punch, but you fire me for selling the video to TMZ. Come on, man.
So you telling me if you're a GM or owner, you'll be like, he cool.
They both out of there. Put it that way.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
But the fact that they didn't really discipline Draymond, they gave him a few days off.
Right.
You're gonna fire the dude that makes $0, but pay this dude $140 million.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I don't be liking, bro. And I think those are the lines where a lot of times people don't like athletes because you almost look like you're privileged. If you go into your corporate job right now and you punch a dude you don't like because he say some crazy stuff, what's gonna happen to you?
Oh, that's a wrap.
You're gonna lose your job, and you're gonna
and they're gonna file.
And you have charges pressed on you. Okay, let's take Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams they lose the game because of some boneheaded play calls. The Raiders game last week. They lose the game. Devontae Adams slams his helmet, walks off the field. A video guy walks in front of him. Devontae Adams pushes him, and the guy falls. Right? Nobody's thinking nothing of this. 2 days later, Devontae Adams, they press charges on Devontae Adams for assault.
Yeah.
The dude's like, he got concussed. He gets charged for assault. Now that affects Devontae Adams' career. He might have something in his contract that says you cannot get any misdemeanors or felonies or we void your contract.
We void your contract out. Yeah, definitely.
So why do we discipline the guy that got the video out instead of Draymond Green?
I agree. Draymond Green, he should be
something to think about.
He should be out of there. What do you guys think? What do you think right now? Tell us right now in the comment section what you think about this right now.
I mean, hey, I'm okay with them not disciplining Draymond. It is what it is. The Warriors are champions. They do things a little bit differently than everybody else. But my whole thing is like, don't punish the dude that's over there making $50,000 for selling the video. Now, yeah, it's a slippery slope because then you can just start getting any content out there. But the NBA is all about content, man. End of the day.
Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, man. If you're gonna discipline him, you gotta discipline Draymond.
So what's Jordan Poole's mindset now? Like, I can't really be cool with you, man. Like, you just punched me for no reason, for real, or is it, what's your reactions to that?
I'm gonna give you
playing the season out.
I'm gonna give you his mindset. $140 million. Hey, his mindset is I got $140 million. I got $140 million reasons to shake your hand, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's true.
He got an ego. His ego gonna take a hit, but at the same time, I got $140 million reasons to not retaliate.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Hey,
definitely makes sense.
That's dollars and cents, man. I always tell people they're gonna ask you 2 questions when your career done. I say this all the time. They're gonna be like, "What you do, man? Where'd you play at?" "Oh yeah, I played for the Golden State Warriors." "Man, that's dope, man. That's what's up." "All right, cash or credit when you at the store." That's it. Cash or credit, bro. Don't mess up your money over some street stuff. Y'all not street dudes. Y'all are corporate guys now. When you play in the National Basketball Association, you are an employee of one of the biggest corporations in the world. It's a media company. End of the day. That's it. So let's not get caught up on street rules. You feel me? In social media, because the people on social media talking, they don't got $140 million. They don't got $109 million like Andrew Wiggins. You know what I mean? Like, it just is what it is. So
at all,
they're gonna look at it from a different lens. Maybe these dudes went out and squabbled in the back. Maybe they actually had a fight. You know what I'm saying? In the locker room with no cameras around. They might have did that. Now they shake hands, but they got $140 million reasons why he don't even care. To be honest, bro.
At the end of the day, like you said, it makes sense.
I'm gonna ask you
$140 million reasons.
You gonna let me hit you with a right hook for $140 million?
I need that 140.
Hey man,
I need that 140.
You know what I'm saying? I'm taking it. Go ahead and give me a roundhouse kick on TV, bro. Right here on Player Two. $10 million. We
good. We gonna set that up.
We good, man. I mean, in the world of athletes out here fighting and getting knocked out, we just saw Adrian Peterson get knocked out by Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's funny, man. We just in a different world nowadays, bro. So
it's wild.
Yeah, man. Question is this: I'm gonna ask you, and we can end it here. Do the Warriors offer Draymond a long-term deal after the player option? Do they give him an extension next year? Or do they look to trade him or part ways?
No, they look to trade him.
Mm.
It's time for him to go. You're bringing in. You got Kuminga. Now you got to let Kuminga play a little bit more now. And Draymond's he's only scoring 7.7 rebounds, 7 assists. Like, can you give us 13 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists? Then that's different.
What is
7 points?
What is 6 more points from Draymond going to do?
What I'm saying, I'm plus the assists. The assists, I look at as points as well.
Yeah.
So you got 7 points. You give me 12 points or 13 points, and then you give me 7 rebounds, 7 assists. That's like 20 points right there.
You know where I see Draymond's value the most, personally?
Where's that at?
There's not another center in the NBA because he plays a center a lot of times in that closeout group when they close the game out. Before I say that, they got Wiseman too. Wiseman coming back is going to help beef up that front line. But the thing that separates Draymond Green from every other 4 or 5 in the NBA is this: when they come off that pick and roll and they throw the pocket pass or the throwback pass to Draymond at the top of the key or at the free throw line, he is the best decision maker in the NBA from the 4 or 5 position at making a read. Tell me another center or 4 that comes out of pick and roll that makes the right decision 4 out of 5 times consistently.
Nah, he doesn't do that. If he's on any other team, I don't think he's the best. But playing with Clay and Steph, that's good. I feel you. I agree with you.
My thing is this: he's never going to be a big time scorer, but he can make the right read coming out of pick and roll. I watch a lot of these games. There's nobody else that has a point guard mindset at the center that catches the ball in the middle of traffic and can hit this shooter here, that guy there, or throw the alley-oop. Or I don't have anything, I can finish. Or if I don't have that, I catch it and I pull it back out and I go dribble handoff with Steph, Jordan Poole, Wiggins, or Clay. No other center is doing that.
So essentially, you're saying that you would pay him to stay.
I mean, what I'm saying is that's his value. And unless they can find somebody else that can make that same read consistently, you have to pay the guy.
So is he worth $35 million like Jordan Poole?
If the goal is to win championships and the goal is to make a unit cohesive,
right,
he's worth whatever he demands from the Warriors, because you just don't find guys that don't care about putting up stats and points that make all the right plays on offense. And then on the other end, he can guard 1 through 5. I don't need Draymond to get 13 because he's going to make sure Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson all get the appropriate amount of shots every night. You're going to deal with some boneheaded plays. It's just part of the game. You're going to deal with some nonsense. You're going to deal with him knocking out Jordan Poole. But you know what ain't nobody going to do? Ain't nobody going to touch Steph or Klay. They know Draymond about that business. He ain't been talking all these years. It's just real talk, bro.
No, that's real talk, because does he but he doesn't want 27 million. He wants that 30 plus million. That's what he's asking for.
Man, Draymond going to take.
So is he going to renegotiate and not, he might pick that up?
Golden State got one chance to win. You got to remember, the thing about Golden State that allows them to be good is Steph Curry in the middle of his career wasn't getting paid the max money because of the ankle problems. So when he was making $44 million on that long-term deal he signed, that allowed them to bring in Kevin Durant.
Right.
That's the only reason why they got KD, because they weren't paying Steph the max. So KD left so that Steph and Klay could get the max, and they were paying Draymond the max. Now, when you win championships, you can go into the luxury tax, because guess what? When Klay Thompson, Steph Curry retire, Golden State Warriors ain't going to be good for many, many years.
Right.
It just is what it is. You got to get it all done while you can. It's only so many Lakers with Kobe and Shaq riding it out. Tim Duncan. There's only so many of them teams that can win and be relevant for 20 years. We ain't even at 10 years. We're not even at 10 years yet of the Warriors being relevant. They really only been relevant for about 7 years, and they won 7, 8 years.
That's a great percentage, though. That's a great percentage.
It's a great percentage. So you got to keep that unit together until it don't work no more. It ain't gonna hurt them to give Draymond Green $30 million. If you don't give it to him, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
Who gonna give you something major for Draymond Green? Just pay the guy. Now maybe you could knock $10 million off of that because he punching dudes, but at the same time, you're not gonna find another player that does what Draymond does for that team.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, that's just my thoughts, man. Steph ain't guarding, he ain't guarding the soul, but Draymond he fills in the gaps where they have him. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, that's my thoughts on that. Is Draymond an all-star? No. Nowhere else, no. I don't need him to be, though. I just need him to make the best decisions every time he get that ball in the middle of the key.
Just do what he been doing.
That's it. Because Timothy Mozgov ain't going to do it. Neither is Dwight Howard. Neither is Thomas Bryant. You know what I'm saying? No. Anthony Davis is going to score. He's not looking to make the right read. Right. Like, it's almost like having LeBron mindset coming off the pick and roll after he catch it in the middle of the floor. That's tough.
It's NBA season, man. I'm ready for this NBA season, man.
Yeah, we start. What is it? Tuesday night, man. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be a good year.
It's the Warriors versus the Lakers. The second game.
Warriors gonna cover
smack the Lakers.
Smack the cover the spread. I'm going on that one. Lakers ain't making the playoffs. Hot take. Lakers ain't making the playoffs.
I ain't saying that, but it don't look good right now, to be honest with you.
Russell
got to make a trade.
Yeah, you saw him come off the bench the other night, and then he went out hurt.
Yeah. That's a wrap.
And I supported Russ. It's not looking good, bro.
It's not looking good at all.
It's not looking good. Like, I'd rather Derrick Rose be in that spot than Russ right now.
Yeah, but we're gonna say that for another time, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to leave you all with this. If you are not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. That's Players U.
There we go. Players U, Chronicles, verse 1, chapter 1.
That's how we doing it every week, man. We're gonna have something new every week.
There we go, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Appreciate you all. Peace.
You've been listening to the Players U podcast. For the players, by the players. Carthorne is an ex-overseas pro basketball player and manager. And Tyson is a trainer, coach, and sports management league developer. So you might say they're qualified to talk about it. We hope you enjoyed the show. We know we had a blast. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at Players U Media. That's Players, the letter U, Media. Y'all be cool. See you next time.